For this project, we're going to be making a wire sculpture that shows movement. So if you can see here, this figure right here is running. This one looks like it might be in the middle of doing a cartwheel. It's up to you what you want to do to show movement. But before we can show movement, we are going to need to make our wire sculpture. So we have this really long wire here. And what we need to do first, if we follow these instructions, is just sort of bend the very ends, because while these aren't too sharp, they can poke you a little bit. So all we want to do to start is make a little loop at the end so we don't have any sharp parts sticking out. So I'll go ahead and do that with the other side too. Then I'm going to take the two looped ends that I just created and put them together like this. And then I'm going to use that to help me find the middle of my wire. So I keep tracing it down and pulling it together. And this end right here, now that I have two equal lengths of wire, will be the head of my little wire sculpture. So I'm going to take about 2 or 3 fingers, sticking it inside here. And then right underneath, I'm going to twist this. Now when I twist it, I have to make it twist very tightly. I don't want loose little coils there. So if you can see that right there, that's about how tight we want it to be. So this will be our head, this will be our neck. We've just done step 2. Then we have to make the arms. So one wire is going to come straight out here, and about the length of one of my hands here is how long it's going to be before it turns back and comes here to the shoulder. So I'm not gonna twist it right here. I'm going to twist it right about where the shoulder would be. And then I'm going to make sure that I keep it close together. Again, we want these little twists to be as close together as you can. They should not be loose. Okay, so we've got that one right there, and that's one arm, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. About one hand is going to go out this way, and it twists back to about where the shoulder would be. And in order to make this really tight, I like to have my 2 fingers here together, my thumb goes on top, and then I twist it and I push them towards each other as I twist. Then I grab it again, and I twist towards each other like this. The only part that should really be twisting is where you are actually doing the twisting, not the rest of this. All right, so he's got 2 arms. Then I'm going to go ahead and create the waist. So I'm going to go down a little bit here, about this far down, doesn't need to be exact. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I only want to twist right in the middle between my 2 fingers. Nothing else should be twisting. And I want to make it very tight. You shouldn't have a lot of space in between. Okay? And then to make the legs, I'm going to put this up here, and it should come up a little bit higher than the waist. So here's the loop. It's coming up higher than the waist. I'm going to take the looped part and put it around the skinniest part of his body, like that. And then right here at the end, the very end where his foot would be, I'm just going to stick 1 finger in there, maybe 2, twist it to make a foot, okay? And then I have 1 more. This is also going to bend so that it comes up higher than the waist, right here. And then once it's here, I'm just going to take it and again, wrap it around the waist. At this point, I'm still not finished because I have to make the other foot for 1. So again, 2 fingers here, twist very tight. But he doesn't have joints. He's got arms that are straight and legs that are straight. And remember, in 4th grade, we are working on showing movement so we don't have just such boring figures. So what we're gonna do is right in the middle of his arm, we're gonna give him an elbow. So I'm gonna put my 2 hands here and then twist. Then remove my hand, put it back here again, and twist. And as I'm twisting, I'm pushing my 2 hands close to each other to make it really nice and tight over there. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Pushing towards each other as I'm twisting so that I create an elbow. And I'm going to do the same thing for both legs. So let me do that kind of quickly. Okay. Do the same thing here. If you're finding the whole leg is twisting right here, then we might want to undo it a little bit, because the only part that should be twisting is the little joints where they're going together. Okay, and then if you have space on yours right here, you can even create a little hand by twisting just the very end. Okay. and here. And once we have those parts, we can go ahead and move our figure into any type of motion that we want to show. So for this person, I don't know, we've already shown running, but I guess I can show it again. This might be the knee. You would bend it back like this, and this little foot comes up this way. Maybe they're even kicking for soccer. That might actually already even look like it. If they were just regular running, then this one would be coming up straight, and the elbows might be bent. So this one might be coming forward, while this one goes backwards. So that shows that they're running. Once we come up with the shape that we want for our figure, then we're going to attach it to a base here. So this is just 4 by 4 inches of cardboard. We're going to place it in the middle, and then staple it on 2 sides so it sort of stays in place. Okay, so we've got one there. Then I also have to make sure I get the other side. And then sometimes we even need a third one. You just have to make sure that the staples go on the inside of that. So when you're left, you should end up with a sculpture that sort of stands on its own. Try it out, and if it doesn't balance, move it around until it does balance on top of that base.